for the person who the word is for. I'm gonna give y'all a word, and if it's for you, then take it. If it's not for you, then it is what it is. And thanking God that I'm not in some grave, I'm not dead or whatever. I'm above ground, and I was grateful. I started to cry. I started to cry because we kind of forget that God is so precious and He's so real, and there's so many. There's so you about to say there's so many jewelry. There's so many things that God does behind the scene that we kind of fail to realize or acknowledge because we ain't really seen what's going on, beyond the skies or in the spiritual realm or wherever. And we fail. And I had an image in my head. So I've always had this thing where, some parents don't teach their kids that Santa is real or fake, or don't believe in Santa Claus because he's not real. But me, even as a kid, I always wished Santa Claus was real. Till this day, I wish Santa Claus was real. And because I just have this thing, it would be so dope and so cool to see somebody just drop you off, gifts and stuff. And it's like if Jesus is Santa, because when we need stuff, we kind of go to him. He kind of just drop off the blessings randomly, right? So I kind of had a thought, and I was thinking, and as I was finished praying, I had this imagination where I saw heaven as this factory place. You know how Santa have his elves working in different stations in the North Pole, if it was real, right? Just saying, whatever. So I had this childish thought and I won't call it childish, but I had a childhood memory of mine. And I put Santa Claus workstation as heaven. And I saw and this is real. This is what I was really thinking about after I was praying. And I saw heaven as a factory house, right? So in this factory house, there's different stations. There's the healing station, the joy station, the peace station, forgiveness station, kindness, whatever station, right? And we get our names. We pray and we get our names, or our prayer goes off or drops off to these specific stations, right? And as it drops off, God tries to deal with how much He can deal with at a certain time, or He'll send His angels to do it. And I say that to say because there are really angels hovering around y'all. I want y'all to know that. Don't ever think you alone. Because God may be dealing with 60, 100 people. And He might send His angel because, whatever. And I was driving the other day, and as I was driving, a car was about to slam right into me. And as it was about to slam into me, it kind of curved. So it swerved and hit another car. And in that moment, I was actually trying to duck from cleaning the church. I was about to go out to eat. And when that situation happened, I said, you know what, let me go clean the church. And saying this to say, there's so many times where we could have been going. Y'all could have been dead. I'm telling you, get hit by a car, stray bullet, whatever. And you never know. And as I pictured that thing in my head, I'm saying this to let y'all know that if you at a station right now and you don't belong, move yourself to the station where you can be fixed. If you know you're not a forgiven person, find yourself at the forgiveness station where you can learn how to do that. If you're not a loving person, find yourself go head over to the loving station. If you a person that need peace in your life, go to that station. If you need peace and you stand in forgiveness, you in the wrong place. If you need happiness and you standing in depression, you at the wrong station. So you gotta head over and go over and beg God to take you or lead you in the station that you need to be at, because you standing in the wrong place. And if you stand in the wrong place, you gonna miss it. My spiritual mother brought a sermon a couple weeks ago, and she said, you got to position yourself for the blessing. Oh, my God. She said you have to position yourself. So if you standing in the wrong place, if you standing where you don't belong, you going to miss your blessing, and you ain't going to come. People always say, if God got the blessing for me, it's going to be for me. It's going to be for you if you in the right place at the right time. If you in the right place at the right time, you'll get your blessing. Listen, what happens when you watch them hood movies? What happened to people? They die. Why do they die? Because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. So you might be standing at a station where you think you need to heal, but first you need to go renew your mind. So you need to go head over to the renew your mind station. So I had that thought this morning I could save this live. I could save it and download it. If you want it, message me on Facebook. Message me on Messenger. My name is Cherry Wavy. And I'm saying that to say, like, this morning when I finished praying, and I prayed for my nieces, I prayed for my family, I prayed for everybody that I remembered to pray for sincerely. And I said, you know what, cover my nieces and all the youths in my church and churches everywhere. Cover them, because all these people that's killing these kids in these schools or wherever you go, you never know when your time is. And so I begged God this morning. I said, listen, I'm gonna need you. And I'm not afraid to tell God what I need. I don't be like, God, can you give me, please? No, I tell God, like, look, you promised that you was going to supply my needs. You promised me that you was going to be there. You promised that you was never going to leave me, that you was never going to forsake me. So look, when I kneel down, I'm tell God, I said, look, I'm going to need you to cover my nieces. I'm going to need you to keep them from all sudden deaths and accidents. I'm going to need you to keep up with your deal. I'm gonna need you to keep your promise, because if you can't keep your promise, who's gonna keep their promise to me if you can't keep yours? So don't be afraid. I ain't say go to God disrespectfully. That's what I said. I said remind God of his promises. If you standing in the incorrect station, I strongly suggest you find the station that you need the most. Stand there and receive your treatment plan. Receive your blessings so God can fix you. All right. So that's what I thought about. I thought about heaven as the North Pole today, and it gave me a lot of hope. It gave me a lot of courage, because I know a lot of people don't believe in heaven or hell, but whether you believe or you don't believe, still live a good life. Whether you believe in heaven or you don't believe in hell or whatever it is, still live a life of good characteristics. Be a good person. Be a good person. Just be a good person, period. I know